Four parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. Four parents, 9 kids, I'm queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here. Four parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. Four parents, 9 kids, I'm queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here. Babe, hand me a beer.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Welcome.
Hello.
To No Dysfunction here. Today we're going to be recording episode 24.
Whoop whoop!
Wow, how the time flies.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that Michael Jordan's number?
23.
Close enough.
And Taylor
I think-
Swift is 22.
I think
Who's 24?
Kobe was 24.
Yeah, I
He's
was
like
gonna say.
started with 8 and went to 24, or the other way around. I don't know what happened.
For the record, I got Jordan's number wrong on purpose.
Oh,
I
I thought since you're like a
It just wasn't that
sports
funny.
maniac.
honestly, I was
like-
really surprised you didn't know that. Yeah.
But what I am going to let you
So I
know.
stole 23 of my pairs of Jordans.
He's a what's it called? A shoe head?
Sneakerhead?
Sure.
I think it's a sneakerhead.
Sneakerhead.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
He has a
You're
shoe
weirdo.
fetish. And not just
Yes.
shoes, it's like
Feet and shoes.
Nikes. Yeah.
It's actually just the shoes. Like, if feet have been in there, he's like, disgusting. No,
Yeah.
Just wants the shoes.
Just the shoes.
If my feet touch him, he's like, get away from me.
That's weird because every time my feet touch him, he definitely does a little something back. It's like, I don't know if it's all the toes, but there's for sure at least the longest toe is connecting.
Really getting in there.
Watch with those razor blade toenails.
For me or him?
Him.
I've got bad ones too. It could be a sword fight.
When I was married to Jake, he used to pinch me with his toes, and I would get so mad. That
Oh,
shit hurts. Does he
snap.
pinch you with his
No.
toes?
You fixed it.
What's that all about?
I put that in the divorce papers. Are irreconcilable differences and toe pinching.
He does because
That
he's
wasn't included in the irreconcilable differences.
My
He has
God.
really long
had to have its
toes.
separate paragraph.
It was that important. It was serious.
but he does this like thing with them when he's in bed. He's like,
It was its own
Yeah,
footnote.
that's what he did to me. Like, my skin wasn't
I
there.
am so genuinely sad I'm the only person who heard it. But I love you.
It sounds like they said some funny shit.
Yeah,
too.
you guys said funny stuff. You said some funny things. We said some funny things.
Ours
Water
was
under the
funnier.
bridge.
It's fine. Okay, I have one more thing to ask you if Jake does it.
Jesus.
Let's keep this going.
He used to finish my drink a lot when we were on a date. Do you still do that?
No.
Like, I'd go to take my drink and it was gone, and I'd be like, no, I'm thirsty. And he's like, I was too.
It's free refills.
Yeah. See?
So no?
no, my drinks
Wow.
stay to Tiff. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Do you
It
not
was
like
just
my
me.
backwash?
That's why you switched to beer, huh? You knew I wouldn't touch it.
There it
That's
is.
true.
There it is.
Yeah.
The truth comes out.
Yeah, Jake's the only one out of us that doesn't like a good
Oh,
cold
and that
beer.
lime, if that lime's not there, I don't even know if I want to drink it.
Oh,
I
really?
love
That'll
beer
change. Give
You
it
put the lime
time.
in coconut, you shake it.
After the
If you
first,
shake it, it's
after the first two, just have a couple without the lime. You'll gradually get there.
Yeah, I do like with lime though, for sure. Unless it's like a
too.
hef or.
Yeah. Some beer's not meant for the
Oh,
lime.
you should take
heifer.
your glasses off.
God damn it, she's right. She keeps telling me I look terrible with them on.
Oh, that's
we're good now?
mean. You're so
so just kidding.
handsome
She'd
either
never
way.
say that.
So today, what we are talking about is not how bad AJ looks with his glasses on.
I appreciate it. We can save it for another day.
Okay. We're going to talk about Homebase with the kids. Like, how do you know which house for your kids to sleep at? Which parent's responsible for transportation to and from school, doctor appointments? Like, how do you figure all of that out?
It's a tricky one.
Especially when you have 47 children.
Makes it trickier.
Yeah.
It does. Well, one thing that I think is extremely important is to, rather than trying to not do things, to be proactive about wanting to be helpful. I feel like all four of us really do our best to be available and say yes when we can and be
Yeah.
a team player. You know, we're not out here trying to like minimize our task and put it on someone else. We're all looking out for each other and doing our best to pick up the slack where we can.
I think that was when we figured it out. It was
Yes.
when we all
Yeah.
started actually doing that instead of trying to keep tabs on whose turn it was to
What's
drop
this?
off for
What's
school.
that?
Honestly, and we went through years of the petty bullshit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Leverage and, well, you did this, and oh my God, it's exhausting. And that is such terrible energy for the children to be exposed to as well. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it took us a long time to figure this one out.
It stems, I feel like, from the rigidity in every other department when you're getting divorced, you know, and trying to figure out co-parenting is like, it's an area where it seems okay to have structure, and it is okay to have structure, but it makes it easy to try and control that because this is a good thing, it's helping, it's whatever, so we then again would insert ourselves early on, or, you know, I've done this and I think it's very common. Insert yourself early on like, well, this is what I think is best, so it should be this, and even if you do agree and you're working together and you're having this set thing, and it's like, well, it's your turn, you got to figure that out, or, you know, whatever it is. Again, it just takes away from kids and their happiness and their comfort and all those things. So I agree, it's all about being malleable and not rigid. Like, just help where you can help, and sometimes we can't. It's, again, with all of us, I think the benefit of the doubt. Like, if someone's like, I can't, whatever, no one's like, they never can, or whatever, you know. It's because we're I think, all trying to do that. Like, how can we help? What can we do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was the stopping of taking score and everybody just trying their absolute best, and everybody giving everybody else the benefit of the doubt, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we're not available and we can't do it, and we just all believe that about each other instead of having some back of our minds desire to go negative because the other one is not available for a ride, or
Right.
Yeah.
Or even like
It's like
taking
just waiting for a reason to be able to pounce, or
Yeah.
to be able to justify why you're
exactly.
ultimately upset in the background. You know?
And
Right.
many times hurting a child because of it. You know, it's like they need something, and you're like, I've done this 5 times, the last one to whatever, you know, and it's like, well, I've done it the last 5 times, check with your dad, or check with your mom, or whatever it is, you know, and that's not helpful. And like, it's all about that relationship with the ex instead of the relationship to children.
I would say another thing for me that has been a challenge is where the kids sleep. And for me, Jake and Tiff's house, and before it was just Jake's house, was definitely the more fun house. And there was like, you know, better food, better snacks probably, and more flexibility, less structure maybe. You know, like, I would not allow kids to have phones in their bedrooms. I would not allow kids to have video games or TVs in their room. And so they naturally wanted to be at their dad's house more, which was extremely difficult for me because I didn't want to bend on the things I felt were important, but I also wanted my children to want to be with me. And that was a really hard thing because I always felt like I was the boring parent or the no parent or the less fun, you know, and then eventually, once they got old enough to choose where they stayed, all the older kids decided to sleep at their dad's house. And I felt super sad and almost like abandoned, even though that wasn't their intention. And so I've had to really fight to find new ways of staying involved in my kids' lives when they live. I'm very grateful they live walking distance, so they're here a lot. But they still, you know, like, I miss out on bedtimes and morning conversations and those things now. But at the same time, I recognize that I had the kids the predominant amount when the kids were little. And so I absolutely see the beauty in the scales kind of balancing back out and them having this time with their dad and Tiff. But it's like when they're young and there's a more fun house, what do you do about that? And what if they don't want to be at your house? That's really hard. And how do you handle that with the other parent? And how do you handle that with the kids?
That's
Good
another tough
question.
one that I don't think that we had figured out as we were going through it. We were neck deep in it.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things you said there towards the beginning is that you knew that you didn't want to bend what you felt was right for your household.
Right. Very rigid.
Well, I didn't want to bend what I felt was right for my household, and they happened to be like opposite spectrums. But if we actually could have come up with a compromise of what both of our households should more or less look like, I think that would have been ideal.
Agreed.
Yeah, and we could have done that with communication if we were not angry with each other, prideful, stubborn, keeping score, like you said.
Right.
If we could go back, I believe we absolutely could have found that middle ground. And so I hope that we can inspire other parents with younger children to have these conversations with each other, to set their differences aside and really come together for the kids and figure these things out.
Dad joke.
Let's
That's
see
even
whose
better.
turn it is on Spin the
Whose
Wheel with
turn
Tiff.
is it?
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel with Tiff. Spin the wheel. We need a song. Skirt. Oh, it's me.
Oh, all right.
Hey guys, I told my wife she was drawing her eyebrows too high. She looked surprised.
That was great.
I love it. You're the
It
best.
reminds me of when AJ's employee one time asked him if her eyebrow was smeared.
She's like, I think I drew my eyebrow wrong today or something like that. And I was like, I'm sorry, you what? I didn't know that was a thing until just now in my life.
But
You were
AJ,
drawing it on.
yes.
This is a thing now.
What happened to your other ones?
Yeah, man, you can't make fun of cancer patients.
That's right.
I maintain that you can. They're actually some of the easiest people to go after.
I will say when Jake
Especially when they don't have any eyebrows.
Right, yeah. How can you not,
Nerds.
really, is the question.
when Jake and I
like to
first
ask.
started chit-chatting, he made a cancer joke, and I'm like, you can't make fun of people who have had cancer like I had cancer, and he's like, so did I. And I'm like, all right, bring it. It's okay.
We're here.
It's okay. We
Honestly,
can be friends.
this is a conversation that we have been having a lot because somebody made a very rude and inappropriate comment about my body on a post on Facebook. But we're inappropriate with each other all the time. And that is the thing, is like respecting. This is such a subject change.
Yeah, good.
But
Good times.
this man who made this comment didn't even know me, and he's talking about my boobs, But it's like, we're not boring, prudy people. I'm not saying let's not make funny boob jokes, I like any kind of sex joke or whatever if it's not targeting someone you don't even know, or like when there is trust in relationships and whatever, that's a safe space. But
Like, you gotta know the room.
read the room.
Read
and
the room.
100%.
Know your audience.
And
Know your
I'm-
audience.
And err on the
Yes.
side of caution.
And if I heard a quote today, something about, my sister Bryn sent me this video about this exact topic. I showed it to Tiff earlier. And part of the video says, men should only say to women what they would want a man to say to them in prison.
That's
I'm like,
amazing.
that's a good rule.
I love that rule.
If you don't want a man to say whatever you're about to
Say
say to you in prison, don't
Don't say
a
it to
woman.
me. That's so great.
I really like that. And I want to sidebar prison because I think there's a show you guys would want to watch.
Oh,
Ooh.
hey-o.
Yeah.
Is it called
Okay.
Prison?
It's something about prison.
Oh.
Okay.
It's like a dating show.
Oh,
better.
we love a good dating show.
It sounds accurate. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No.
Are they dating people in prison?
It's
My
people-
prison wife or whatever?
Something like that.
I've seen something
Amazing.
about
On the
that.
spectrum.
No. But it's
Prison
women
life.
in
We
Like
need, a, we need a
spectrum?
crossover of Love on the Prison Spectrum.
yes, but it's like women in the UK and
Well,
Australia and Great Britain are dating men pen pal like they're writing to each other and talking to each other on the phone, and then when they get out, they show up and meet.
Wow.
And then go live, and it shows like their lives.
I bet they all go
I'm in.
swimmingly with no problems whatsoever.
Well,
No
I mean, half of them get murdered.
Yeah.
But it's a really interesting show.
Yeah, that's less than I would have guessed.
Fewer?
Yep. I was waiting to see if Jake would do it.
I still
I
don't know
was
the
waiting for Jake
difference.
to do it.
I saw a quote that reminded me of Jake the other day. It said, I'm constantly deciding if I want to be the grammar police or if I want to have friends.
That's a real problem.
That should be on the shirt.
Was there a period at the end?
I don't know.
I think it's Ricky Gervais who talks about it. This is like a subject I feel really passionately about, actually, because I am, like, he talks about in his comedy how people will, like, come up to him all the time after his shows and, like, I can't believe you. You can't say that. You can't do this. You can't whatever, you know? And his response is, like, you can joke about anything. Like, that's why they're jokes. Like, this is humor, you know? Like, for me, I might find something personally offensive, so I might not enjoy that somebody maybe is making, like, transgender jokes. Maybe I don't enjoy that. I believe with my entire heart that person should be allowed to make transgender jokes as much as they want, as often as they want, as terribly as they are, as great as they are for the rest of their lives. Like, it's so ridiculous to be like, you can't joke about that because it hurts my feelings, you know?
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, this is a sensitive topic. Humor, like there are so many people who would say transgender jokes should never be made because they're hurtful. You know, or like for me, if it was something that touched my life specifically, like lesbian jokes or whatever, I don't know. It's like I completely agree. I was in theater in high school, and my theater director did not want to do the plays because the school wanted her to censor them, and she was adamantly against censorship. I think the audience can decide, you know?
Yeah.
We don't need to be told what not to do. We can decide. Like, if, for AJ and I, we love stand-up comedy. And we will turn it off immediately if there's a joke that is inappropriate in our eyes. And a lot of transgender jokes are totally offensive to us. So we turn it off. And that sends a message to the comedian. They can track that shit. They see when people, you know, turn shows off and whatnot. But we don't want them to not be allowed to tell that joke. We want freedom of speech. And then you show, you know, like walk out of the movie. Turn off the show. Walk away from your friend if you think the joke is offensive, but this whole like censorship thing is out of control in our country for sure.
But the hard part is, I mean, there's a whole lot of hard parts to it, but just like, you know, the rest of the audience. You know, I feel like at our restaurant, when we've had stand-up comedians in the past, you know, people are kind of looking around on whether or not it's appropriate to laugh. Mm-hmm. Just like, come on. Be your own person.
Yeah,
you
that's
think
for
it's
sure.
funny or you don't think it's funny.
Yeah.
Don't just laugh because
If
you
other
think it
people
may or
are
may not
laughing.
be appropriate in this
100%.
town to tell that
Right.
joke. Like,
Totally.
just laugh if you think it's funny.
We went to a comedy show in this town. You remember just a month ago or something, 2 months ago? And it was one of the ladies was a lesbian, and she was making jokes about her first vibrator and all.
She was great.
Oh, it was
And
so
what was-
funny.
and what was the
we
crowd
were
demographic?
the only people in there, packed house, that were laughing. We were the only people laughing our heads off because our community is very conservative, and they're looking around all shifty and awkward. It's like, chill out, bud. Those people will learn that those jokes probably won't be flying.
Not gonna work for
Yep.
those guys.
That lady was great. She was so funny.
She was
But
funny.
yeah, I don't know. It is refreshing when people just think for themselves and laugh at what they think is funny and don't. But I don't know. It's an interesting town we live in, but we love it.
I think those specific comedians had the skills to power through even with a really, really,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
tough,
They did.
They
tough,
did.
almost silent audience. Like they were incredible, just like keeping their own personal confidence of like, I know I fucking got this.
Yeah.
They really did.
I know it's funny. I know other people that think it's funny. It's not my fault that these guys don't like it.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
then again, I mean, you are getting paid to do a job.
Right.
Maybe you should switch your skit after 3 failed jokes.
That's exactly what
I don't know.
she's talking about with the like let the audience decide,
Right.
Like if 4 people are like you can't make fun of people who are cancer patients and 996 people are out there dying, like sorry, but I think it's funny
Dying
and they think it's
laughing
funny.
or dying?
Well, 4 of them are dying.
They have cancer.
The other 996 are having a great time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a sensitive person, and I don't like rude humor, and I don't like to target groups of people in humor or anything like that, but I also don't want to stop anyone from doing it if they want to. I'm just a big freedom lady.
Freedom's good.
We appreciate that about you, so thank you.
So does your community. It's the one thing they
My
appreciate
community
around
really
here is freedom.
appreciates my views, I'm sure.
Oh, I thought it was freedom. Sorry. Big into freedom around here.
Real big into freedom. Merca. Well, this has been fun. Thanks, everybody.
I think we need another. Whose turn is it to ask the question?
Oh.
I think
Can I
you
tell that
answered
joke
the
about
question
chicken real
last time.
quick?
Yes,
Yes.
please do.
God,
It
please.
was more of a phrase statement.
I'll take it.
You got this.
It was about shit.
I hate when that happens.
It's like you know the people that raise chickens, they're actually chicken tenders. That's what it was.
I saw that
Just
today.
took
Where
me a
was
sec.
it?
I really
It
love
was
that.
a meme on Facebook.
Chicken
Okay.
That's great.
tenders
Is
is wild.
tender also a word for money?
Yes.
Okay, so when someone's paying for chicken, it's chicken
tenders.
tenders.
There is a lot going on with these
But I
chickens.
bumped.
That's great.
We should get into the chicken business.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think
I
about
know
it.
a guy.
I'm gonna think about it.
Okay, question. Who is it?
Ooh.
I
yeah,
think it's
that-
technically supposed to be my turn, but I told a joke, so maybe let's pass to
Okay.
AJ.
Oh boy. Am I
Chicken
answering a
tenders,
question?
yeah.
Okay. All right. That's the one I wanted. So.
Or it might be a corny joke from ChatGPT.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
I definitely don't get the punchline. Hold on. How can parents raise children with a deeper awareness of emotional? Yes, terrible joke. I'm going to try it again. How can parents... No, it's a question. You're right. How can parents raise children with a deeper awareness of emotional and spiritual well-being? Easy answer. Just kidding. There's no easy answer to that question. I think, though, there are some things that could help. One is living your own life with deep awareness of emotional and spiritual well-being. I think that, like everything else, our kids look to us, whether they know it or not, when they're growing up, and they learn a lot there, and a lot of it isn't great, and a lot of it's great, and we're trying to keep it all great. So when you're talking about emotional and spiritual well-being, just like everything else, like if you are keeping yourself physically healthy by whatever, eating a well-balanced diet and exercising or, whatever it might be, having a good sleep schedule, blah, 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 it impresses on your kids to do the same without you saying a word. And I think it's just the exact same thing. It's if you're taking care of yourself emotionally and spiritually, and that's going to look different for everybody, I think, but really self-care in those two categories, whatever it looks like for you, helps your kids realize that it's an important thing. Like, for example, I think I've always been someone naturally who my emotional well-being stays in a very even keel place, but spiritual well-being isn't something that I feel like until recently in my life I've really focused on and would just power through. I do, go, get it done, do, work, this, that, whatever. And as a result, I don't feel like my life has done a great job of impressing upon our kids, here's how you are spiritually well, But I think that those are things I'm focused on now and trying to do now, and it can change, and you can do that. So that would be my answer.
Whoop, whoop.
Well
Way to
said.
go.
Thanks,
Boom.
guys.
Nothing to add. That was amazing.
You guys, stop. Okay. All right. Making me uncomfortable over here.
Or is that Jake playing footsies with you?
No,
I
that's
just wanted to say deeper several times.
that is true. I've said it in my head 4 other times that you guys don't even know
I
about.
think Jake wanted to go deeper with his big toe.
That's right.
While you were talking.
That's the groove. That's my not there.
That's what they said. Wait.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you guys are fun.
I sure
You
do
guys
love
too.
ya.
love you right back.
Love you long time.
Thanks, guys. We'll
guys are
see you.
amazing.
Well, no, what are we talking about next
Oh,
time?
yeah.
Oh, next week is going to be something
A
so
special surprise.
special surprise.
Yes. We're so excited.
I know. It's going to be so fun.
Jake's like, what is it?
He's like, wait, what are we
The
doing?
wives are planning something spectacular.
Oh, love it.
Just kidding, we're not.
It'll be a good time.
Okay.
It's gonna
Bring your
be
taste
awesome.
buds.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Mwah.
4 parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. 4 parents, 9 kids, some queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here. 4 parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. 4 parents, 9 kids, some queer. One thing's clear, there's